Okay, welcome. This is a continuation of number 1 attempt. The other part is already in iStudy. And we are going to start our Oracle VM, Bean VM1, and install. We already installed Debian, and we are going to install. We're going to check if there's a web server, SSH, and Postgres, and PHP inside, so that we can ask AI Studio to develop for us. Okay, let's check port 80. There's a web server. Okay, there is a web server. Let's check the IP address. I don't know if the IP address. How do I know the IP address of in Debian? IPA. Let's type IPA. IP address is 10.0.24. So I'm going to try to ping 10.0.0.24. Wala. Ayun, nagre-reply. Uy, wala pala. Mali. 10.2.15. Okay, let's check the network configuration of this machine. Network. This machine is in NAT. Okay. NAT. That's not the correct way. So what we're going to do, class, we're going to shut down. Okay, let's just press shutdown. Shutdown. And then let's configure the. Do you know, class, what is NAT? Have you taken networking? Do you know what is NAT? N80? Who knows? No? Okay. NAT stands for Network Address Translation. For example, I'm explaining what is NAT here so that we understand networking. Did you take networking already? Yes, but okay, I will just teach you. NAT is fake. It's not real. Okay, this is how NAT is. How can I do this? Diba IP address? All computers have IP address, correct? Are you listening? You're not. Okay, yes, you're listening. All computers have IP address, but my computer has another computer inside the computer, correct? It's the VM. But you can ping my IP address. My IP address is 192.168.14.10, correct? So you can ping it. But my other computer here, the IP address is 10.0.0.24, which you cannot ping. But the Debian computer, okay, let me just demonstrate what is NAT. Okay, let's turn it on. This is the theory. The Debian computer, the VM, can ping everybody outside, but you cannot ping him inside, from outside going inside. if you have an internet connection in your house, you have a router, di ba? Di ba may router kayo doon if you have fiber? And then, your computers inside the house have their own 192.168 IP addresses. But that 192.168 is not a public IP address, it's a private IP address. How come all of you are able to connect to public, but the public cannot connect to your 192? If for example, in Iolis, when you visit Iolis Personal, I can see the IP address of your router, but I cannot see the IP address of your device inside your house because your network is not NAT, network address translation. So it's not real routing. It's called masquerade. It's masquerade. Meaning, every computer or device or cell phone or tablet inside your house connects to your router and they connect to the outside world, Google, to Facebook, etc. But Facebook, Google, Iolis, AUP website only sees the IP address of your router. You are all wearing the mask of your router. Everybody inside your house, the public sees only the IP address of your router. So when a packet goes to Google, it comes from your cell phone 192.168.5.3, for example. Your IP address 2, in IP networking, there is a packet. A packet has a to field and a from field, correct? So the 2 is Google IP address 8.8.8.8, for example. The from is 192.168 something that your 3.2, for example, your local device IP address. When that is sent through the network, your local Wi-Fi network, the router sees that. The router sees that. So the router's job is supposed to route it out. If the destination is not inside, it's supposed to copy the packet and send it to the default route. And the default route is your ISP. So send it to ISP. The router, before sending that packet out, it replaces the from with its own public IP address. Do you understand? So the from of the packet is not 192.168 something. It becomes 115 something something. The public IP address of your router, not your device. That's why it's called network address translation, because it translates the from field real time and then sends it to the ISP. So it travels all around somewhere in the internet and goes to Google. And Google, when it replies, it sends it back. Of course, it replies and create a new packet, send to your router, not to your device inside your house, to your router. And the router memorized all the NAT transactions. It says, oh, this device is connecting to Google, therefore this packet is supposed to go to this device. And when your router receives the packet from Google, Google sends a packet to the to field is your router's public IP address. The from field is Google IP address. Your router, because you're in a NAT network, NAT, network address translation, replaces the 2 with your 192.168, the IP address of your device, and sends it to your Wi-Fi or your local network. So this way, you can connect to anybody in the internet, but the internet, when it connects to you, it only sees your router. Or everybody who connects from your house, you are all using the same public IP address, which is the address of the router. So people cannot connect directly to you, correct? But you can connect directly to everybody else. That's what's happening. That's what network address translation is. So they cannot ping you. You can ping Google, correct? But Google cannot ping you. Understand? You cannot go in the internet and ping your 192.168 in your house. But you can ping anybody in the internet that replies to ping. Okay. Now that's what NAT means. Let's enter our secret password. And let's try to ping Google. See, I can ping Google and Google can reply because the host, so I'm doing NAT here in this, the VM is a computer virtual machine and the network is configured as NAT. That means what you see, what Google, if you are in the network and I ping your IP address here in your computer, you will see that the computer that's pinging you is not my VM, but my host machine, correct? Do you understand host and guest machine? So you will see the host machine IP address pinging you, not the guest machine, because the configuration is not. The virtual machine Oracle VirtualBox Manager is translating the packets. Okay. So I can connect to the internet, but you cannot connect to my IP address, which is 10.0. Even ping 10.0.2.15. Okay. Okay. I will tell you a story. A long, long time ago, I was a student here. And then when I was a student, when I entered the lab, all the teachers are afraid of me because they thought I'm a hacker. Okay. So you listen to me, because they think I'm a hacker. I'm trying to figure out, you know this command ARP-A? Yes. What does it say? It just displays the ARP table. ARP table is the table that has entry for each IP address versus each MAC address or Visual Access Control Layer address, which is the address of the network card. I was just looking if there's an IP address for a MAC address for 10.0.2.15. Apparently, there is not. It's not there. That means NAT is working. So I don't want a NAT configuration because I need to connect to this VM using using the browser. See if I connect 10.0. I don't know, 10.0.2.15. It won't connect, correct? Of course. How can we connect? It's using NAT. So we're gonna change our configuration, but we cannot change our configuration while the machine is on. So we're gonna shut it down. And we're going to edit the settings here. Settings of the VM. The network tab, we're going to set it to bridge. There are two to bridge. So what is bridge mode? Bridge mode is like this switch. This is a bridge. This switch, Ethernet switch, is a bridge. So if it's in bridge mode, you can see the MAC address of the VM. You can see the MAC address of the host, correct? So it's like the VM is connected straight to the switch. Diba? So, diba in computer networking, there's layer 2 and layer 3. Layer 2 is MAC addresses. Layer 3 is IP addresses, correct? So you should be able to AR ping if you are using Linux, you hacker people. You should be able to AR ping the MAC address of the host, the guest, the VM, if it's in bridge mode. Okay, let's try. So I just switch it to bridge mode and let's just start it again. I don't know what will happen. It's always an experiment. Okay. Ang bilis mag-boot nitong Debian because there's not so much bloat. Not like Ubuntu. Let me log in. Okay, let's see the IP address. There's no IP address. Oh, that means, class, that our network is not dynamically allocated. Let's see. Manual assignment. So in this network, can you check your network? Naka-manual din ba yung network? Ano nyo? Manual? Manual? Okay. This network is in manual mode. It's not DHCP. So they manually assign the IP address to all the computers in this lab. Therefore, I will not get a DHCP. I'm not getting a IP address automatic. Oh, there's also DHCP pala. Ayun no, nagkaroon na. So I was assigned by the DHCP server 192.168.14.240. So let's see if I can visit the 192.168.14.240. Ah! Yay! Can you also try 192.168.14.240? Can you try in your Meron ba? Gumana? For 192.168.14.240? Meron? Okay, that means i-shutdown ko nga kung mawawala. Tingnan natin, i-shutdown natin kung mawawala. Shutdown. Baka kasi iba. Just to make sure that we are looking at the real debian. Okay, I click reload and it's not there anymore. That means that's it, correct? It doesn't load anymore. So when we start it again, in fact, if we ping it, we won't be able to ping it unless it has started. Ping timeout, 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 because it hasn't started yet, correct? It has started already, but it's not yet replying. Oh, I pinged wrong IP address. Sorry. Okay, it's replying now. So, correct. Our idea worked. This one. Okay, we have Apache already installed. Now let's try to see if we have PHP installed. How? Okay. What's going on? I am using an editor that I don't know anything about. Okay, I'm stuck. What's going on? Okay, let me just maximize the window. Pico. Okay. Now let's try to visit /tilde / slash. Okay, it's not there. Okay. Never mind. So class, there's a command named, how do you make it scaled mode? Yod, it's bigger. Have you ever encountered Linux, class? No? Okay, I will give you an introduction to Linux. Linux is an operating system that's most popular today. There's more Linux computers in the world than Windows. Because your Android phone is using Linux. Okay. So you are probably very lost or somewhat lost when you see me what I'm doing here, okay? So we installed an, how can I start? So Linux is another operating system. So you are very new to Linux, correct? Okay, I will start from nothing. Windows is an operating system. You took already operating system? Not yet? Some? An operating system is a software that manages your computer, makes it easy to use. Otherwise, everybody has to be a programmer. Everybody has to know how to program the video card, the sound card, etc. So, an operating system manages your computer. What to manage? Manage people, devices, and other software. So, it's the manager. How do you know it's managing? If you click Task Manager, it manages processes. So if you see here, there are many processes, right? Do you know this one, Process Manager? These are the programs running. A process is a program that's running. You understand? A program is the software. It's the instructions in sequence, in loops, iteration, etc. The Excel file in binary or in PHP interpreted file. That's the program. You make programs, we make programs. That's what we do all day and all night, correct? So the program is in the hard disk in SSD. When it runs, it is copied to memory, and it executes. It's a process when it's running. And we have many processes that runs in the same CPU. Who manages that is the operating system Windows. So you have many processes. Some of them are for servers, some of them are for recording, some of them are different kinds of things. It also manages the devices. Why do you need to manage? Because Chrome should not read the memory of OBS. OBS should not be able to read the memory of Chrome. Should read only your memory and use only your memory. If you access the other program's memory, maybe you are reading their password. Diba? So if this OBS tries to read the memory of VirtualBox, it will say illegal operation. You cannot read that part. So the operating system manages processes, users. User 1 should not be able to access user 2 files if they are not admin, correct? So mainly security. And if the programs of user 1 crash, it should not crash the programs of user 2. They should have, they should have different container or something like that. So that's the job of the operating system. Now, how many operating systems have you encountered in your whole life? Probably you encountered Windows 10, Windows, Windows 11. You also know Android. Android in our phone. Android is Linux also under the hood, but they put a nice user interface and they use Java The reason your cell phone uses Linux is because Linux is open source. And because Linux is open source, many programmers contribute to Linux, and Linux runs on the most number of kinds of computer architectures. It doesn't only run in Intel 86 architecture, it also runs in ARM, it runs in virtually all kinds of computers. Why are there so many kinds of computers? Because there are many kinds of people who make computers. Why are there so many kinds of cars? Yeah, because they try to make a better car. Yeah. So that's why there are many kinds of computers, because they try to make a better computer, a computer that consumes less power, a computer that makes less heat, a computer that's faster, a computer that has more memory, a computer that's simpler to instruct, and so on. So that's why there are many kinds of computer CPUs architecture. But Linux runs on the most number of kinds of architectures. That's why the Android people, they decided we will use Linux. Because if cell phones, you cannot control what kind of computer they're gonna put here. They put ARM, they put this kind of ARM, that kind of whatever kind of CPU comes out in the market, you should be able to put it there. And you don't care what computer, what architect, what kind of CPU you have, correct? Have you ever seen that's all Samsung use the same CPU? No, sometimes it's different. So flexibility is called portability. That's why they use Linux for the kernel and the file system, and they use Java because Java is the most portable also by code. So that's the operating system manages files. You have file. You know what a file is? Of course, you know what a file is. Files, folders, and the organization of files and folders are called file system. You have a FAT32 file system, not NTFS file system. Correct? If you press Window E, you will see the drive, Window PC. If you click right and you click Properties, you will see that the file system here is NTFS. For example, that's how the subdivision is organized. It's NTFS, the subdivision of the whole disk, of the whole partition. So I'm telling you that class because those ideas are present in most operating systems. It's just different implementation. So Linux has a kernel, it is the manager. Windows has a kernel, it is the manager. Linux has a file system, it's called exe4. Windows has a file system, it's called NTFS. Correct? Windows has a graphical user interface, it's called Explorer. Linux also has Windows Manager, different name. There are plenty, like so many of them. Linux has shell, a command line shell, or Windows has command line shell. It's called CMD, correct? CMD. Linux has command line shell. It's called SH or bash. This is the command line shell of Linux. Oh, sorry. This is the command line shell of Linux. In Windows, I cannot press Alt Tab easily without double clicking something. So in Windows, if you want to see the files, you type dir. In Linux, if you want to see the files, you type dir. How can I make my window? Okay, excuse me, class. Let me try to. No, not like that. How can I make it bigger, the font of this? Maybe I will just stretch it. Okay. It's ugly. You cannot see it. Can you see it? It's ugly. It's stretched. Okay, let's try to guess how to display. Display is scale. If you want to change directory in Linux, you type cd. Yeah, okay, I will give you a Linux tutorial. But let me try to figure out first how to make the screen bigger. Let's power off the machine. Okay. Let's see how we can make the screen big. Display, screen, video memory, virtual monitors. Okay, let's just start it out. Powering on the machine. The virtual machine will now be switched to scale mode. You can go back to windowed mode at any time. Host C. Note that host key is defined as control right. Let's keep it small and we will scale it later. Okay. Became small again. View, adjust window size, auto resize guest, scale mode, full mode. Let's see. Aha. Can you see it from the back, the small text? No? Okay. Mirror? May mirror ba? Paano mag-mirror? Kita niyo yung screen ko? Really? How did you see it? You see LG? So you can also know what I'm typing? No, even if I'm typing password? Oh, just the screen. Okay, according to them, you can mirror the device with the LG something something. LG whiteboard, you can see my screen. If you want to see the text. Huh? Anong mangyari pag adjust window size? Scaled mode. Mag-mirror na lang kayo. Okay, class. Para mabilis. So I'm going to give you the most popular Linux commands. How do you know how many commands you have? I just pressed tab. Oh, tab doesn't work. So ls lists the files. Okay. The equivalent in Windows is dir. What else? vdir lists the files in vertical mode. In Windows, it's always vertical mode anyway. Okay. In Windows, if you don't want vertical mode, you just type dir/w. cd changes the directory. You know what directory is? Folder, correct? So let me introduce to you, class, the Linux hierarchy, folder hierarchy. In Windows, you have a drive C, Inside your drive C, you have program files. Inside your program files, whatever is there. And inside your drive C, you have Windows. In your Windows, there is whatever is there in the Windows folder, correct? You're familiar with this, my friends? And you also have users, and you have the people there in the users, etc. So, and if you have another drive, you maybe have drive C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So there's the letters. In Linux class, in Linux, you have only one hierarchy. It's called the root. If you want to go to the root, you type cd/. Okay, let's make it scaled so that it will become big a little bit. Okay. So you can type ls here. You will see the root folder. The root. Do you understand, my friends? Root. If you want to be hackers, you should be listening now. So VDIR will show you the files and the folders in vertical mode. Okay, hackers, listen. You just don't tell other people that we are all hackers. Hackers know this one already. No need for lecture. D means there are folders. Okay, root is a folder, dev is a folder, etc is a folder, home is a folder. This is not a file. This is a file. LLL, DDDD, DL, DDL. RWX. R means read, W means write, X means execute. R read, dash means no write. X means executable. R means readable, dash means not. X means executable. Why are there three? The first RWX is for the owner. Who owns the file? Root. By the way, what is root? There are many kinds of root. There's a root user, the administrator of the Linux. If you get root, you are bad code in this computer. You can do anything, bad or good. Root. If you get root, this is the objective of all hackers, to get root. It's like to get admin access. So there's a root user, there's a root file system. The root file system, you will know you're in the root file system when your prompt is like this, slash, correct? How do you know we're in the root? Because if I just cd, if I type pwd, pwd stands for print working directory. For example, now I'm in /home/wingp. I'm in my home folder. I'm user wingp. But there's another user in the system called root. It is the admin. So I'm going to go cd, change directory to root. I'm talking about root, the file system, not root the user. So you know you're in the root of the tree, of the file system tree, when it is like this. So for example, in the root we have several folders. Let's go to the folder etc. We will go inside etc cd/etc. So you will see we are now inside /etc. If you type VDIR, you will see many files inside /etc. You will see file name protocols, curl, profile, RC0 until RC6, RCS, RPC, shadow. Hackers are looking for shadow. This is where all the passwords are hiding, encrypted. That's why nobody is allowed to, only root can read and write, and only the shadow group. Oh, by the way, this is the user, owner, this is the group. So you see here, this is the file status, the file permissions. I don't know what this is for. This is the owner, the group. This is the size of the file, how many bytes, and this is the last write, and this is the file name. Shadow etc//etc/shadow contains all the encrypted password of all the users in the system. Okay. You want to see what's inside? Let's see. Okay, how do we see what's inside? We type cat /etc/shadow. Permission denied. Of course, why? Of course. Shadow can be read by root, read by shadow group, but WinGP, my name is WinGP, that's my user account, is not in the shadow group. How do I read it? There's a command named sudo, SU. SU stands for super user. I'm giving this lecture because I think nobody else can give this lecture. I'm the Linux guy here in the whole AUP. I'm the hacker. According to my teachers, they are afraid that I'm the hacker. But I was not hacking. They just didn't know what I was doing. You fear people whom you don't understand, correct? Okay, so SU stands for super user. So I can type SU dash and it will ask me for a password. I wonder if I know the password. Oh, I got the password. Unfortunately, it didn't show here. Of course, it's my secret password. So you will know that I'm root because the prompt says root. See, root at win debian. This one, okay. This one plus WinGP is the username. At and then win. I press something. So I press something. I press something that I'm not supposed to press. So let me try to connect my computer again. Okay. Win is the username. At is just at. Win debian is the host name that I configured when I set up the Linux computer. Colon, and then this is the folder name currently working directory. And dollar means standard user. And as you see here, when I type SU dash super user dash, it asks for root password. I entered root password. Now I'm root. I'm God mode now. And same host name. And you will know you are root if you get the sharp. Here up front and you see sharp, is root. The old user is root. So you cannot see my screen? You can see. But other people are just wasting their time. Is there a password? I think that one is the password. So this password is for sharing everywhere. Okay. Anyway, this is recorded, yeah? But I don't think my voice is recorded from far from the microphone. So, okay. Why did we get root? Oh, you want to see the password? Let's cut /etc/shadow. This is the context. So the root password is this. Alright, it's encrypted. The WinGP password is this. This encrypted. Do you know how encryption works? Yes, no? How does the system know that I entered the correct password, but the system doesn't know what the password is? Diba? The idea of encryption is you should store the encrypted password, but you should not know the password. So that if somebody gets the list of passwords, they get the encrypted password, but the password cannot be decrypted easily. I say easily because if you have a powerful machine, you can decrypt it in few months. But it will take a long time. So you should change password every month. That's why they ask you to change password every month. Because powerful machine can decrypt the password in few months. Okay. So as a responsible IT person, you encrypt the password so that hackers, even if they get the password file, cannot know your password. But how does the software know that you entered the correct password if they don't know the password? Do you know how? Do you know how? No? That's why you are very quiet. It's very easy. Just encrypt it and see if they're the same. Ah, right? How do you know what the password is without knowing the password? You only have the encrypted password. Then you ask for the password, encrypt it, and see if it's the same. Yeah? So you know if it's correct, but you don't know what is actually the password. Correct? Ah, that's what the responsible security people do. Okay. Now that you know what's inside the shadow, shadow has the root, the username, the encrypted password, and expiry information. So it's here, daemon, or there's a daemon inside this computer. Okay, don't be afraid, this is just a name. The people who made Linux, they thought that software that runs in the background are daemons, and the spelling is DAEMON. So it's like software that in Windows. There's software that always runs. Yeah, if you look in Task Manager, all of this software runs. Did I run them? No. I only started Chrome and LG and OBS. But how come there's so many other software that runs here? So those are called background processes in Linux. So we have B, C, sync, games, man, LB, printer, mail, news, USSD. Like every kind of service has a username. So backup, www data, list, IRC, nobody. Do you know who nobody is? It's nobody. Nobody, etc. So those are the usernames. Okay. What else do we need to do? If I type exit, I'm back to WinGP mode. Okay? WinGP mode. Yeah. Ano oras na lang? Ano pa? 108. Okay, class. Now, that's enough. You will just learn other things as we go. Now, what we need to do, class, is try PHP. So I'm going to type PHP here. It says PHP not found. So I know what to do, but I want to make sure what I'm going to teach you is correct. So I'm going to type in Google. Just checking. Debian, how to install PHP. Ano pa ba? Postgres, SQL. Okay. If you don't know what to do, ask Google. I copy here. Update your system. Sudo. I don't have sudo even. Okay, let's type. Class, do you know why we are bothering with Linux? Why is Sir Pasamba teaching Linux so difficult to use? Why just use Windows? Because Linux is free. Diba? Free. If you have 100 servers, you buy 100 Windows licenses. If you use Linux, just download. And that's why Google, Facebook, all their servers run Linux. They don't pay Microsoft. So this is the sense of Linux. It's free. Okay? No need to pay. And it's super configurable. The problem with Windows, you don't own the computer. You know the computer in the gate? You know why it's not working most of the time? Because of Windows update. You don't know when Windows update will come. You're trying to tap your ID and then it's not working. Windows update has taken over and all the keystrokes are going to Windows update. You want to update? Yes or no? Imagine. So you don't own the computer. Microsoft owns the computer. They will run anything without your permission. But Linux, you can delete whatever they put. Okay. So what we're trying to do, my friends, we're trying to type sudo apt update. Oh, by the way, can we ping Google? Oh, we can still ping Google. This is a nice configuration. You can visit my website, you can ping me, but I can ping Google. Perfect. Wow, amazing. Amazing. Okay, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to type sudo apt update. The problem is there's no sudo. There's no sudo. Oh, we just complain to Google. Okay. Okay, switch to root user, su dash, and then apt update and then apt upgrade dash y. Okay. Can you type that fast? Oh, diba, diba? Okay, the Linux is ano na, updated. How do you install? Apt install PHP postgresql dash contrib php dash pgsql dash y. Did I type properly? We will know. Oh, it's downloading. 299 megabytes. 17 gig available. So we are now installing PHP and Postgres. And then let's just wait. We have 8 more minutes. Next thing we're going to do is apt install sudo. We're going to install sudo because sudo is used often. So what we learned is cd. How many commands in Linux do we know? cd, ls, vdir, sudo, ano pa? su, apt, ayan o, apt. Apt. User mode is for something else. So next thing we do now is su dash postgres dash cpsql. Okay, it works. So Postgres is installed. Optional, I'll install sudo. Okay, never mind. Add your username. We already have a username. My username is WinGP. So let's now try to run PHP. Okay. Oh, it ran. Now let's ask the next question. How to enable public HTML? Okay. Okay, never mind. We will not enable the public HTML. We just use everything from su. Okay, we'll program as root. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce to you in 6 minutes one command. It's called ln. Okay, ln. So if you and make dir. So in my folder class, in my folder, you will see dollar, tilde dollar, meaning I'm in my home folder. I type dir, dir, and I saw a public underscore HTML folder. So how did I make a public underscore HTML folder? Okay, let me remove it. Remove dir public underscore HTML. It's not empty though. Okay, how do you delete file? rm. rm. Okay. How to remove directory? rmdir public underscore HTML. No more. Total 0. Now let's make a folder. Make dir mkdir public underscore HTML. Okay. You want to go inside cd public underscore HTML. Now you are in public underscore HTML. Let's make a file named here index.php. Pico, I type Pico, and then I type some HTML, some PHP. And then I press Control O. The menu is down. Control O, index.php, and then Control X. And then let's make it available in the web. So I type su. Okay, class. We have the web root. In Linux, the web root is /var/ww/html. This is where, when you visit my computer using web server, this is where it looks for the file, right? So we want to make a folder. Now I'm going to tell you another command is called ln. ln is link. So we're going to make a link from home WinGP/public HTML to WinGP. Hard link not allowed. So we will just put soft link. Yeah. So ln make a soft link from home WinGP public HTML to WinGP inside www.html. So, my friends, if you type here 192.168.14/WinGP, it should show you forbidden. Forbidden. Let's check the permission. Home is home. So anybody can get into home, but not anybody can get into WinGP. So we should change the permission of WinGP to chmod plus rx WinGP. And then let's try the permission. Oh, nandiyan na. Hello. Therefore, PHP is running. Yay! Okay. So inside my public HTML, I can now do PHP. Okay. Okay, another thing. We have 2 more minutes. My question is, can we connect to SSH? Can we SSH? SSH 192.168.14.24. Oh, we can connect to SSH. Very nice. So I can SSH. What is SSH? SSH stands for secure shell, meaning I can connect to any computer, computers in the internet servers use SSH. Okay. So if you want to manage a different computer in another place, you use SSH. So I can SSH as WinGP at 192.168.14.240, enter my password, and I can type any command here also. Yeah, like so this can work through the network. SSH is pretty standard. If you find a web hosting that has SSH, you can SSH to their computer. So you can do all your commands using SSH. Okay. Okay. We have PHP, we have Postgres, we have SSH. All we need is the demo. But we ran out of time. So I'm going to stop recording. And SSH stands for secure shell. Yes. Secure shell means all of the things you type are encrypted. And all of the, by the way,
Ito po yung isa na alam niya yung password pero hindi niya makita kasi.
Yeah. All encryption are like that idea. But Edis SSH encrypts all your keystrokes going to the server, going to the VM, and all of the, is a terminal. A terminal has a virtual screen. So you're connecting to a terminal service, and the terminal has a virtual screen which has characters and locations to characters. And the screen is sent to the terminal client to SSH so that your computer can display the virtual screen in the server. So you have a screen that corresponds to the server. All of the keystrokes are encrypted. All of the screen updates going back are encrypted. So you are like using remotely your computer, the server. That's what SSH is about. But it's time already, so I'm going to stop recording. We will continue next meeting to make the number 1. Okay. This setup, I made it detailed and tried to add so many things that you can learn, because all of this will be useful in all the other things, in all your hacking endeavors. Please don't use it for bad things, only for good things. Okay. So I will stop recording, and those who need to check attendance can still check here. And we will see you next meeting class. Stop recording.